Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Harrington from Bradley Hills. Happy Earth Day. I wanted to tell you all about a very special craft that my children first did when they were young in Mrs. Jacobs' class. I asked Mrs. Jacobs about this and she gave me some tips to help me out telling you about the craft. It's called a trouble rock. Now this is the trouble rock my son Luke made in Mrs. Jacobs' class 12 years ago. So you can see it is very well loved. This is a recent trouble rock that Mrs. Harrington made. So the purpose of the trouble rock, sometimes you're not feeling great or something's bothering you and you might want to tell your trouble rock about it. When I was little, I was the youngest of 3 children, and every time we went in the car, Mrs. Harrington had to sit in the middle between her brother and sister, and Mrs. Harrington got very, very tired of that, and that was one of her troubles. Maybe something that could be happening to you is maybe you want to finish up your ice cream, but it melts before, or you wanted to play with a toy and your brother and sister are already playing with it and you have to wait your turn. That can be a little tough. So to make this craft, I want to tell you how to do it. What you want to do first is find a rock. You and your parents or your grown-up can go on a walk and look for a good rock. One about the size of your fist is perfect. So what you might need for this project, one good idea is to maybe have some felt or soft cloth so that your trouble rock won't scratch whatever surface you put on. For hair, you can use colorful feathers, or you could use a little bit of yarn. You could use some pipe cleaners. You could use whatever you might find in your home. For eyes, if you don't have googly eyes, you could use a button, or you could even use maybe some stickers. It's really your rock to make it just the way you want. So if you have your glue stick, you can glue your rock and you can put it on the felt, put a little more glue for the eyes, and stick those eyes right on there. There we go. And then for the hair, one idea is a feather. Mrs. Harrington has a pink feather, a green feather, a blue feather, and a yellow feather. She's going to use the yellow feather today. Now, Mrs. Harrington can tell her trouble rock some of her problems. And one thing that Mrs. Harrington happens sometimes to people is when there's a storm, that can make people a little bit nervous. I know you're all safe and cozy in your homes with your family, but my friend Bear, he gets stuck in a storm and he gets a little bit nervous. So what he might want to do is tell his trouble rock about the time that he got stuck in a storm. So let's give it a try. It's Bear Feels Scared by Karma Wilson. In the deep dark woods by the strawberry vale, a big bear lumbers down a small crooked trail. Bear's tummy growls as he looks for a snack, but it's cold, cold, cold. So the bear turns back. He is not home yet when the sun starts to set and the bear feels scared. Bear shakes and he shivers as a storm starts to howl. Bear mutters, "What is that? Are there spooks on the prowl?" The path gets dimmer and the sky grows gray. Bear looks to and fro, but he can't find his way. He huddles by a tree and he wails, "Poor me." And the bear feels scared. Meanwhile, back in the warm, cozy lair, friends start to worry for their poor lost bear. "It is late," Mouse squeaks, "and our bear doesn't roam." "There's a storm," cries Hare. "Should Bear be home?" There's our little mouse, and our hare, which is another word for a bunny rabbit. Wren tweets from his perch, "We must all go search. What if Bear feels scared?" The friends bundle up and begin to prepare. They form a search party for their lost friend Bear. But Bear is all alone, and he sheds big tears. There's a noise in the forest, and he feels big fears. Bear trembles in the wind. How he longs for a friend, and the bear feels scared. Badger lights a lamp and he shouts, "Let's go!" All the birds search high while the rest search low. With a flounce and a flutter, they set off together. They trudge down the trail through the wild, wet weather. They call, "Ho, bear, are you there? Are you there?" And the bear feels scared. But he perks up his ears. Is it Mole calling out? Is that Hare's voice? Does Bear hear him shout? Wren, Owl, and Raven all squawk from the sky. "It is Bear! He is there!" And they sigh big sighs. By a tree waits Bear, 10 feet from his lair, and the bear looks scared. With a flap and a flurry, all the friends gather near. They give him big bear hugs. They calm his bear fears. Later in the night, all clustered in a heap, the bear spins stories while his friends fall asleep. Cuddled up tight, they snore through the night, and the bear feels safe. So this is just the kind of story you might want to tell to your trouble rock. You could tell mom and dad, and you could also tell your rock. I would love to put this by my bedside table and share with him all of my troubles, big and small. So just like Bear, maybe one trouble you might want to talk to your rock about is if you don't care for storms. You could tell mom or dad first, or you could practice telling your rock. Another fun thing to do with your rock is to name it. I might name my rock Topper after my cat. And this is, you can be clever like my son Luke, who named his trouble rock Trouble. You can kind of barely make it out. And a big shout out again to Mrs. Jacob for telling me all about this project, and also for having my children make these in her class, because they've loved them so much that my son has kept this on his bedside table for 12 years. He probably says things like, "I forgot to do my homework," and other things like that. So again, thank you for spending some time with me making your trouble rocks. Happy Earth Day. Enjoy finding a piece of the earth, also known as a rock, to do this craft. I miss you all. Bye.